the one area, Lata, perhaps where the going wasn't really too good was the telecom space today. Telecom stocks coming under pressure. And this, of course, happened after TRAI came out with an order telling telecom companies to compensate consumers for dropped calls starting from the 1st of January 2016. Reema Tendulkar joins in with all the details. Reema, so it's 3 calls per user at ₹1 per call. Is this going to have a severe impact on financials?
Yes, it's a big negative for telecom companies because if you see, the financial impact could be fairly significant. So right now the TRAI has announced that the users will be compensated for ₹1 per call per day up to 3 calls per day, which means per user, in a worst case scenario, could get ₹3 per day, and this if you multiply it for the whole month, that's ₹90 per user, and that's literally half of the kind of average revenue per user that companies enjoy, which stands at what, ₹180 or ₹190, which potentially means that 50% of the company's ARPUs could go out as financial penalties. Again, this is the worst case scenario. And the other caveat is that call drops are prevalent only in key markets like Mumbai and Delhi. So even if you assume that these key markets contribute about 20% to the overall revenues, you're still staring at a financial impact of about 10%. This is very rudimentary analysis that we're giving, but we're just trying to highlight that the impact on telcos could be fairly significant. And the question is, can the companies go ahead and raise tariffs in order to compensate for this financial hit? It's quite unlikely at a time when there's so much competitive intensity. They could to some extent, but with the Rel Geo launch, too much tariff increase looks quite difficult. Also, one question that we'd like to raise is what happens to the per second billing plan of telcos. Remember, all the operators have now moved their customers to per second billing. So how can you raise money or raise revenues on the basis of per second and end up paying someone for per call? So, the economic viability doesn't quite add up there. What we are awaiting still is how the companies will react to this. Will they take the litigation route? As of now, there is no clarity. We understand that smaller players could be impacted more than the larger players. But the biggest nightmare is going to be the operational aspect of it. How will we calculate whether the call has actually genuinely been a drop or it's actually been disconnected? Who will be making the payout according to which circle? So there are a lot of operational and logistic issues which are going to be very difficult to untangle. But as of now, it's clearly a negative for telecom players.
Oh, that it is.